innocent and that he got railroaded and that it was a prosecution that was biased, and also it was done in racial discrimination. Okay, I'm going to play what she said, but she now claims there's new evidence, and she says there is really exculpatory evidence that's came out now that clears Tory. This is after a week of us hearing that the bodyguard of Kelsey, Nicole, also heard or overheard Kelsey saying that she was the one who shot Meg, not Tory. So let's listen to this. They're going to play an ad for a second. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Yeah, this Tory thing, you know, he's getting the most support he ever got now. I think they're trying to roll up a package. I just don't know if that governor will do it, man. I think that governor, if it wasn't a high profile athlete, or not athlete, but celebrity like Meg Thee Stallion, I think they would pardon him or something of the sort. Also, if Roc Nation wasn't behind them, you know Roc Nation is firing off emails saying, don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. We'll take on the state. Don't you fucking dare let this motherfucker out of jail. Let's play a little bit of the interview with Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, and she's out of Florida, but listen to what she says.
Understanding is you're around some kind of the Foreign Relations Committee, and you're from Florida. Why did you take such an interest in this case?
Specifically, how I got involved in this case is I actually am friends with Amber Rose, and she had flagged it for me. And when I actually spoke to the attorneys that are representing Mr. Lanez, they actually presented me with evidence. When I saw the evidence that was brought forward, we're talking about no forensics DNA on the magazine of the pistol, a .01 DNA match, which effectively means that he could not have been the shooter, to include there being ring footage that really refutes and dispels the testimony that, you know, he had basically said dance and then fired the firearm. In addition to that, there also being missing ballistics fragments from the alleged, you know, shot in the foot, as well as medical x-rays. All of this does indeed show and prove that Mr. Lanez, unfortunately, is being incarcerated and he's an innocent man.
Is this the new evidence that you had tweeted about? This ring video, you said there's a ring video that will refute?
It was actually brought to my knowledge by the attorneys, and we actually had posted that on one of our X platforms, that there's allegedly ring video footage that refutes the statements and they, I would say, hearsay comments in court testimony.
Have you seen it, and is it going to be released?
I'm actually actively pushing for the release of that, and there's also an affidavit that the attorneys have actually shown me already that actually came from, we will be presenting that and posting that publicly for everyone to see in the coming days.
If I was the appellate lawyer or the lawyer trying to secure a pardon for him or a new trial, and I had a video showing somebody else shot him, I would shot her. I would send that out immediately to the media to create this kind of firestorm.
Then you would get the governor's attention.
Why wouldn't they immediately release a video if it shows? I mean, because that's the smoking gun, literally.
Right.
I don't know. Again, as I stated, I haven't seen the footage yet. But what I will say is that.
All right, man. Y'all know me. I'm always call a spade a spade. I want Tory to get out. Tory's my man's. I fuck with him. This chick's cap. She wants to get public support. She wants to rack up the votes. This might be a play for her for the next election, that she gets, you know, reelected or, you know, whatever, to the House of Representatives. But she's making these declarative statements about Tory Lanez, and again, I'm pretty sure Tory fucks with her, but she's trying to get attention. You're not in. You might be in the government, but you're not in California. You asking California's governor to pardon this guy means nothing. You claim you got evidence, but you ain't seen it. We've heard about all these things, and again, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm kind of with Harvey on this. Tory's my man, but we're gonna have to keep it spade a spade. Do I think he deserves to be locked up? No, I think this is whole bullshit. But we're not gonna go off and make a bullshit, even more bullshit. The point is this: if I had a Ring camera video, send it out. Don't be like, oh, we got it. Drop it. Where's the video? Remember, Wack was saying that there was a kid, an underage kid, that had a video of the whole incident. but then the mom didn't want it to cooperate. We never saw that. Give us something we ain't seen in court. We heard that Kelsey's bodyguard seen some shit. Where is he at? We're hearing a lot of things that makes us curious, but we're not getting nothing, like, we're not seeing it. A ring camera footage of what happened, drop it. Nigga, that would be one of the biggest premieres all year. Be bigger than Sinners. Just drop it. The mere fact that this person is in the House of Representatives and she's speaking about this case, she ain't never seen the damn footage, even though she's claiming that there's footage that's exculpatory. She ain't never seen the footage. She's going off of affidavits. It's clear that she believes that if she advocates very loudly, and because in hip-hop we look at people like her for having a name, we think that that would help. That's going to probably, we think that will help with the case of Tory. For her, she thinks this will help with her votes and, you know, how people see her in certain communities. The point is this, Shorty, if you didn't send the video, be quiet. If you ain't see the video, be quiet. Now, here's the thing. And I think Tory got to be careful. Yo, Tory, you got a lot of these people who seemingly want to speak on your behalf. You ain't said nothing because you're nursing 14 stab wounds. They want to speak on your behalf. They want to overpromise. They want to claim that there's things that clearly show otherwise, that you got railroaded. All good. But at some point, if we don't see these things, like if we don't see this ring footage, what are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to say, y'all? I would have dropped this shit on everywhere. Live leaks, YouTube. I'm streaming it all day on Kick, Twitch, everywhere. Where is the video? Now, here's the problem. We're hearing so many things, and because none of it is being introduced in court and all the media, and this is why I think Tory got to start checking people around him. Or he going to have his lawyers start checking some of these people who are clout chasing. We're going to get to a point where people are going to say, yo, bro, we do want you out, but we're not going to be moved by these things unless we see them. Y'all doing too much. Where's the video? Where's that? Y'all are promising a lot, but we ain't see it. White got the footage. Bruv, if they got a footage showing Tory do the shooting, they wouldn't have to do a TMZ interview. If I'm her, I would have booked a one-way flight to California, and I would have walked right up in that DA's office. You're a representative. I would have booked a meeting with the DA, the current DA of Los Angeles. You're the representative out of Florida. And I would have said, plug this into your computer, give him the USB stick. And when they see that Tory ain't do it, they said that's an incarcerated individual in California that your DA's office that you inherited put in jail. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You wouldn't even have to come on TMZ. There's no need to come on TMZ. This idea of coming on TMZ seems like, listen, to get a pardon, you got to do philanthropic shit and then you got to do a press run. This seems like the press run. I still don't think the nigga is going to pardon him. I don't think Gavin Newsom's going to pardon Tory at all. So now we got to say, if you have exculpatory evidence, this is what I would do. You put it out immediately. And then, first of all, the governor would pardon him immediately. He would pardon. As if that's the egg on the face of the county of Los Angeles, the governor's going to pardon him immediately. And then I would start filing in court. Now, I know what they said before. They said, well, there's already legit shit filed in court. But fuck the DNA on this. Fuck the, they ain't get the driver to test. Fuck that. If y'all got a testimony, if y'all got a video, I would rip up the habeas corpus appeal and also the fucking appeal for a new trial. Fuck a new trial. I ain't do it, bitch. That shit would be all over everywhere. Give it to me. Do anything with it. So now, because I'm not seeing this, and one thing, I do fuck with Tory, but I'm just not an idiot. Now I gotta say, does this shit exist? And this is why I say this chick cloud chasing and she gonna look stupid. If Tory didn't send you the footage and you're not making statements about this, you know you're cooked after this, right? If this don't come out, you're cooked. Let me just tell you how it works. And I'll tell you how I work. Because sometimes y'all see I walk up on this goddamn stream and I say certain shit with my chest, definitively. When I say it, definitively, and I'm down to stand on it, because I seen it with these two eyes. I seen it. Even if I'm talking to the guy, I said, yo, could you show me it? Let's do FaceTime or something. Cool. I just need to see it. I need to see it exist. I think this chick should have never done a fucking interview and need to stop tweeting until she see the video. And if I'm Tory's team, I need y'all to put the video out immediately. Other than that, what are we talking about? There's no secret videos no more. You're in public jail. Release the video. There's no more secret videos. I would be dropping everything every day. Y'all should have a video interview with the bodyguard already. Drop that shit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The public is supporting Tory. But I done told you the reality behind this case. This is not like some science fiction. He has a 30% chance of getting out of jail. Otherwise, he's going to serve the majority or what is the state mandated required amount of the 10 years, and then he will get deported if he's not a citizen. That's how it works. The case is already done. The trial's already done. He has 30% chance of getting out and not getting deported. The best thing would be a pardon. But I'm telling you, it's the wrong governor and it's the wrong place. I do believe if this was Florida, if this was Texas, I believe that a governor, if it caught significant support, would pardon Tory Lanez. Not in California. California is the home of the transgenders, home of the beta males, and home of all the woke activity. They'll be damned if they pardoned a man of African-American descent who got a tattoo of an AK-47 in the middle of his chest that goddamn supposedly shot a woman. It won't happen in this lifetime or the next. Trump would pardon you before motherfucking Gavin Newsom. His entire, you got to realize part of the criticism he caught for even the fires is that this nigga is so woke. He one of them niggas that believe in climate control, all this type of greenery bullshit. That's people have thought that his inaction has resulted in more forest fires and the whole fire shit. So he's not a nigga who goes against what those traditional beliefs are, even if it's burning down his whole fucking state. You think he gonna go against it for Tory Lanez, my nigga? He's not going against women. Because for him, it's not about the details of the case. It's about politics. He would get his ass kicked from here until forever from now if they could say, brother, you do know that you pardoned a man that shot a woman, shot a famous celebrity. You know you did that, right? He don't want his name on that. He ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you. I'll take a friendly bet with anybody. I bet up to 5K, he won't do it. Now, hold on, let me go back on that. He won't do it if there's no video. Real exculpatory shit. I don't think he'll do it on the bodyguard of Kelsey. I don't think he cares that much. That's for the appellate court to figure out. But if there's a video of the incident that happened and Tory Lanez did not shoot very clear, if y'all drop it today, he'll sign that order tomorrow. I don't know why it's not dropped today. Why the hell is you on TMZ? Drop the video. Drop the video. Drop the fucking video. We got to drop the video. You drop the video, you don't got to campaign no more. That governor, even by his liberal constituents, would get killed. Yo, bro, you really got this guy in jail in your state when he clearly didn't shoot that woman? Whoa. Pardon. But until then, he's not doing a pardon. Until then, you have a 30% chance of the appellate court. And it don't matter who really campaign or say they fuck with Tory. The majority of hip hop now fucks with Tory. Here's the problem. It's too late. It's too late. Because at max, he got a 30% chance. If y'all had the same loud voices before trial, that damn prosecutor DA's office would have been that overzealous. They were overzealous. They wanted to get Tory the fuck out of here. They were overzealous. Maybe if y'all spoke up a little earlier saying, yo, y'all are pushing By the way, keep in mind, Tory Lanez, supposedly, at first, Meg didn't cooperate. The reason why California picked up the case, they're clout chasers, number one. But they had a hard time getting it started because people weren't that willing to participate. They had to twist people's arms. If the loudness in hip hop now told was saying, leave Tory alone, they would have fell back. But at that time, politically, for a DA's office of a left-leaning governor, it was a good move to prosecute another famous person who's a man and he's black for shooting, allegedly, this woman. It would make them look good if they send that guy to jail so they file the charges. Politics as usual, people. Politics as usual. So all the voices speaking up now, if y'all spoke up then, they wouldn't feel like, oh, this is a slam dunk. We about to go get reelected and we about to get bonuses. They would have said, oh, we gonna chill. We gonna chill. Unless she comes to us and almost asks for the case to be filed, we're not gonna go. You know, it's the DA's office that was trying to twist Meg's arm. Like, yo, Meg, come on, stop playing. They supposedly talked to her. She wasn't really saying shit first. Then they had to go back again. And supposedly, when she got mad at Tory, she started really cooperating. But you know how women are. They're only loyal to their emotions. It's only a matter of time before Tory had pissed her off. It was going to happen. But still, the point is this. Why is this chick doing interviews? Where's the video?
All of the information that's been brought forward and flagged to us is also going to be presented if it hasn't already been sent to the governor's office. And I would also say that it's incredibly important for people to realize that the body cam footage, which I'm sure you guys are aware of, has also reported, and the initial medical responding doctor at the ER with.
Man, I don't give a damn if it's a cell phone video is grainy. I don't care if it looks like the movie. Give it to us. Pause. Now, supposedly, Tory went on.
Would you like to be called the Punisher?
Okay, so Tory's father went on there, and they're talking about this new. Here we go. This new evidence. Tory father and this rep.
Flash hits.
Several occasions. My family, we come together and we pray on a daily basis. This has been pretty well 5 years now, almost 5 years since this whole incident ever came to the public's attention. And since that day, we come together sometimes, most times twice a day, wherever we are in the world. We are on a phone call and we pray. And thankfully, a lot of times he is able to join us. He will, call in from the prison tablet, and we're able to come together and we pray. So since the situation happened, my wife and I, we were able to be with him from the very first day that we heard. This incident happened about 6:30 in the morning, and then by the time we were cleared to go in to see him at the hospital, by the time we got in, it was about 1:30 that afternoon. We spent practically the whole afternoon with him, following day, and then the next day after that, when he was discharged and went back. So, yeah, I've been in pretty well constant contact with him.
Before I move on, I just want to ask you, are you 100% convinced that your son did not commit the shooting for which he's serving this sentence?
I'm absolutely convinced. I've always been convinced. And a lot of the evidence that had been suppressed over the years, a lot of shenanigans that went on in the courtroom, are now coming to light. There's been so much foul play. And I'm not just saying this as some sort of pissed off parent. I mean, one of the things, just by way of an example, and I know that our attorneys have spoken to this. You know, they have laid out things line by line. And I want to even take this moment this is the first time I'm meeting Representative Luna face to face. I want to thank you for the masterful job you've done getting out over the last little while, over the last couple of days on your, on your platform so that people can know exactly what happened. But let me tell you from a parental standpoint, a parental observer of my son walking through this. I'll never forget the day when we're sitting outside of the courtroom getting ready for court to reconvene. And imagine the only independent witness, which should have been the only objective witness in this case, was a gentleman by the name of Sean Kelly. Interestingly enough, the only person that would be able to have an unbiased viewpoint of what actually happened. Imagine that the prosecution did not want to call that witness. Why? This is the only independent witness, but yet you don't want to call this person because obviously his bird's eye view will not support what you want the narrative to be. And so when we sat outside, my wife and I, we saw this gentleman come in and we sat down and it was identified for us that, oh, this is Mr. Sean Kelly. He's sitting across from us on the other side of the hallway. And as we sat there, the prosecution came out, one of their detectives or investigators rather, and one of the prosecutors, they took
By the way, chat, if you're on Kick, we need 14 more followers to get to 13,000 followers, man. Come on, run that up for me, man. We need 14 more followers on Kick, man.
Gentlemen, they went upstairs, I believe it was to the 14th floor at that time. By the time this man came down, the witness they did not want to call, this man came down and his testimony became so embellished with other nonsense that people who saw it just looked at it and said, this is crazy. So I saw these kind of things going on all throughout this case. People trying to bury evidence, not trying, burying evidence. A judge that refused to allow certain things to come into the courtroom or to be said and was totally biased on the part of the prosecution. So the whole thing just stunk of a setup.
Just one last question, because you've made me think of this. But if your son was not responsible for Megan Thee Stallion being shot, we do know that indisputably she was shot. Who shot her?
First of all, the whole idea of her being shot is a speculation. That's a speculation. It's to this point has not been proven that she was even shot.
Bro, let's stop it, man. She was shot, man. Stop. Stop. I'm gonna be honest. She was shot. Please, just stop. Yo, if you love Tory, you got to start admitting the basic things, or else you're gonna look like a Looney Tune. And we don't look like Looney Tunes. We want to look smart, educated, logical, but we could support somebody who we think is wrongly convicted. She was shot. We just don't think it was by Tory. When you're trying to argue two things, you look stupid, and that's what Meg was saying yesterday. And Meg ain't the fucking sharpest knife in the drawer. You can't argue, oh, she wasn't shot, and then, oh, it suggests she was shot by her. Which is it? Was she shot or not? She was shot. Now, granted, everybody named Amino, the bullet did not go through her leg. There was a bullet fired near her vicinity. It either ricocheted off the ground, which is the most likely possibility, and the shrapnel, which means the bullet erupted or splinters came off of it. A shard went into her foot. That's what we know. You see, if we like Tory and we want to support Tory, we're going to look like Looney Tunes, people that think that the Mars landing ain't real, we believe in flat earth. Because remember when people were saying, like, yo, there was a theory that she stepped on glass. And by the way, two things could even be true. I don't even know if that's necessarily still a theory, but whatever. I do believe she was shot. Do I believe she was shot by Tory? I don't. Listen, this is just how I look at it on a real nigga perspective. If Tory was trying to shoot the bitch, he wouldn't shoot her feet. He would shoot her in the fucking gut or that fucking BBL or that fucking titties. That's what I think, right? Even if Tory's a bad shot. When I see that bullets are fired, 5 of them, and it's fired and the injury seems to be a bullet hitting something else, then splintering and hit her, it tells me somebody was fighting or somebody was grabbing somebody's hand and the gun got fired. So I've always thought that Tory was trying to get the gun out of Kelsey's hand, right? No matter whose hand it was in, I think that person didn't have a clear shot. No way. They had a clear shot. I don't believe so. Do you understand what I'm saying? However, that's why in my theory, I think she was shot. And technically what shot means is, were you injured by the result of a bullet? Now, I know colloquially, shot means did the bullet hit your foot? No, the bullet didn't hit her foot. But it's still considered shot if the bullet fractures and a shrapnel hit her foot. In the eyes of the law, it's still considered shot. Cool. All right. Well, why the fuck would she get shot in that demeanor? Now, according to her and the prosecutors, Tory wasn't trying to shoot her. He was trying to do dance, bitch, dance, and he was trying to shoot the ground. Kind of hard for me to buy into that, given what I know. Tory just revealed he fucked both girls. They were fighting. They're fighting over Tory. Kelsey is much more than Megan. Megan gives her the beats. Megan hops out of the car one time first. They get Megan back into the car. The next time after Meg goes outside, gives her the beats. I think Kelsey ran back to the car, grabbed the gun, was trying to figure out how to work it and shoot her. Tory comes over trying to like hit her hand or grab her hand. The gun goes off, hits the ground. Yes, she does get injured.
And I want to make it really clear because I'm asked questions a lot as it regards to Megan. Megan is a young woman. I'm a father. I don't have any animosity to this girl at all. We pray for her. I've said that publicly on several occasions. My son included in our prayers. We have prayed for her on many occasions. So anything that I have to say is not to put her down, make her look like this person or that person. But the reality is that in all of this, how can you have a situation where in pretrial, the police, LAPD, says that the bullet fragments they had collected from the hospital just mysteriously vanishes. It goes missing. I would think that evidence is something that is protected.
Now, again, I'm telling you, I'm being so fair, you just can't even believe it. Now, here's the thing about Tory's that defense about the bullet fragments are missing. If you're asking for the bullet fragments, even if they're missing or not, you're trying to prove she was not shot. And again, I think that's a stupid way of addressing this. If your thing is, oh, she was never shot, that's why you want the bullet fragments. You're like, all right, we want to see if, how could she have gotten shot? Was there bullets found in her? I think we have to acknowledge she was shot. Just then say it wasn't Tory who shot her. When you're still debating if she got shot, you look like a Looney Tune. Now, granted, a defense lawyer and an appellate lawyer, it's their jobs to figure out ways to get out of it. But this idea that the bullet fragments are missing, truthfully, is bullshit. Because no one in that court, on the jury, believes, and even Tory's own defense, they didn't really challenge this idea that she wasn't shot. That's really a social media thing. Again, shot colloquially meaning, did a bullet cause the damage to her? I think most people believe yes. Is it a bullet? Did it break bones and tendons? No. Did it go through her foot? No. We get it. But she was injured as a result of a gun being fired and a bullet being ejected out of that gun.
In any police department, but they just mysteriously go missing. So there's no bullet fragments to be presented at trial. You have a situation where a gun is shot, and the gun, which is supposed to be your main piece of evidence, does not even show up at court, but some picture of a weapon that resembles or is the type of weapon they say that was used. The weapon does not show up at court. There is absolutely...
Now, what he's arguing right here are technicalities. By the way, people get off on technicalities all the time. Don't mean they ain't do it. Now, I'm all for Tory getting off on technicalities or otherwise. I don't care. I think Tory should get out of jail. I don't care how he gets off. But I got to be honest. When you're arguing these type of things, that's technicalities. That's not arguing the main point. I didn't shoot him. If the main point is I didn't shoot the bitch, that's not the argument you go for. You go for definitive shit that shows you did not shoot the person.
Absolutely no. We hear this point of 0.1% of his DNA on the gun. Do you know what that actually means when you investigate it? That over 1.5 billion black people on the planet could have been their DNA. Yet my son is convicted for having used this gun, where an expert witness from the LAPD gets in there and he testifies as an expert of how many pounds of pressure it takes to shoot this gun and to shoot it 1, 2, 3 times and on and on and on. Yet the only evidence you have could fit the profile of 1.5 billion black people on planet Earth. The whole thing stinks of a conspiracy, and it stinks of a cover-up.
Okay, let me turn to Representative Luna. You've taken up this case, and you've done it at a time when Drake has shared a petition to have Tory Lanez released. Chris Brown posted "Free Tory" on his Instagram story. Kanye West has supported his release as well. I want to play, before I get your explanation for why you've taken up this case, I want to play, this is a version of events from Megan Thee Stallion herself, from her own documentary about what she says happened.
We left to go home.
Now, here's the thing why I do think a lot of Tory fans, and by the way, I understand why Tory fans feel that way. And by the way, I agree with this too. Meg was too drunk. Everybody know Meg's a drunkie? One of those, what happened last night? I was wilding? One of them ones. Everybody know that? What happened last night? Damn, I was wilding, huh? Did I throw up? One of them ones. My only issue with Meg's, we got to listen to her a bit because she's the one who got injured, but it's like, she's super drunk. I've always thought the only person's testimony that should matter is Jaquan's. Now, some people might believe that he is biased because he's Tory Lanez's bodyguard, but he was the only non-drunk person that night. You know, Kelsey was supposedly passed out for like an hour or two before they left. She was just passed out because she drank a whole bottle. Meg supposedly wanted to scrap at the event, so they got her out of there. Drunk. Tory's 5'2". His liver probably this small. Drunk too. Why we ain't get... That's the thing. I argue logic. Why the only sober person did not testify? What type of shit was this? The only sober person didn't testify. The drunk people testified. So when Meg's doing this recount, I'm like, Meg, you were drunk.
I was in the car with Tory and his driver and Kelsey. We are all arguing. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I knew I was talking shit, and he probably was a little offended. I tried to get out the car one time. I'm over this shit. They was like, Megan, get back in the car, get back in the car. We almost to your house. I get out the car again. I ain't even got shit on. I just got on a swimsuit. And I'm walking off And this motherfucker just started hollering at me. He was like, dance, bitch.
It's a very dramatic sort of recounting there in animated form of what happened. She then talked about it again in an interview with Gayle King on CBS, the morning show there, in 2022. Let's take a look at this.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, and he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared. I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick. Like, cause I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like.
And the final clip I want to play, this is where in her own documentary, again, she talks about...
We got 13,000 followers on Kick now, man. We're going to keep running it up, man. We're at 103,000 followers on Rumble. We got to get Kick to 100,000 followers, man. We have all these platforms. We have either hundreds of thousands or millions of followers on them. We got to get Kick to the same thing, man. Let's get it.
That interview, it admits she may not have been entirely truthful. Let's take a look at this.
Yes, bitch, I lied to Gayle King, bitch. First of all, I didn't know that bitch was even gonna ask me about that shit. Bitch, I always want to talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about fucking Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I fucking once, maybe twice on a drunk night. Bitch, you kept catching me out of my fucking mind.
No, I don't think you need to be a conspiracy theorist, Representative Luna, to see there's a lot of inconsistency going on here. She denied to Gayle King that there was any relationship with Tory. She then admits that there had been, that she lied. She doesn't admit to lying about the circumstances of the shooting, but certainly this goes to the heart of her veracity. Why have you taken up this case?
Well, first of all, Pierce, thank you so much for having us on to discuss this. And I just want to applaud you and your outlet for actually being able to showcase some of the facts here. Look, I don't have any connections to the rap industry, Mr. West, Mr. Brown. The only people that I really know involved in this are Miss Amber Rose, who actually initially flagged this for me and connected me with Tory's attorney. And when I looked at the evidence, and remember, I'm a member of House Oversight and Accountability, and I actually am the chairwoman of a task force that conducts investigations.
Did she say Amber Rose?
Investigations, most notably into the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So I'm all about the facts. And what I can tell you is that the evidence in this case overwhelmingly speaks to the fact that Mr. Lanez is actually being incarcerated, I would say, as an innocent man. And what I can tell you is, even to your question on what happened with who indeed may have pulled the trigger and, allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion. Look, I don't know Miss Stallion, but what I can tell you is that the evidence says that there are no bullet fragments and that there are x-rays that the legal team, Mr. Lane's team, actually has that we'll be presenting. What I can also tell you is based on the evidence that I've seen, again, that number 0.01% DNA match, alleging that it's Mr. Lane's, when in actuality, they actually did not choose to test the other 4 individuals there. No fingerprints found on the magazine. By any arguable case, if this was a murder trial, he would actually be acquitted because there is no evidence. And so what I will tell you is, one of the things that people ask is, well, why are you getting involved as a federal representative when this is a California state? He's not from, Florida here, or he's not represented by a Florida member of Congress. What purview do you have? And what I will say, Pierce, is that I have a platform and I have the ability on a federal level to impact prison reform. And what I can tell you is everything in this case, I don't believe that he was actually given due process. I believe it was a stacked trial. I believe the evidence speaks for itself. And I am willing to actually cross party lines to work with the Democrats to secure pardon from Governor Newsom's office. And we're currently in the process of setting up talks with Governor Newsom. I do think that he is going to do the right thing. I think that the evidence speaks for itself. I didn't know that Drake had posted that petition, but what I will tell you is that was the right thing for him to do. And I hope more women specifically in the rap community can come forward and speak to this truth, because as you heard from Miss Stallion herself, she admitted to lying to Gayle King. And what I will also tell you is I'm also have been informed that there's actually ring footage, and that will likely also be released here pretty soon. I know we are helping to put the evidence out there to the American people. But I do believe that this is really a terrible case, and what was done to this family is unacceptable. And I will be continuing to push for his full pardon. I think that people owe them an apology.
Now, here's the thing, too. I wonder if this woman has been sent down the river. You know there was ring footage in the there was ring footage involved in the case. What the ring footage actually did was it was a ring camera that was inside. I don't think it was Sean Kelly's house. It was inside somebody's house that captured the argument. And the argument's really low. And then the shots. So it's just audio. I'm thinking that's what it is. When we hear ring footage, we're thinking, oh, we seen it. Bruh, that video would have been out, nigga. That's what I'm really wondering what they talking about.
And furthermore, I'd like to finally say this. So I actually spoke to Mr. Lanez on the phone in prison yesterday, actually. And he is actually going to get very involved in criminal justice reform to ensure that this doesn't happen to other people, because in his case, he has an incredible family supporting him. He has the financial backing to fight this, but many people don't. And so that's where we are going to continue to champion these causes at the federal level, even all the way to the White House and in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I don't know if she knows too much about the case. They already used some ring footage, but it was only audio. I hope she's not talking about that, because she got us excited now. We're like, ooh, we're about to see the whole thing happen, and we're going to see Tory's innocent.
Well, I'd love to talk to him myself. It does sound a fascinating story. Just before I let you go, just to be clear, do you actually think a gun was fired at all then? Or could that in itself be in question? And if it was fired, who do you think fired it?
I don't know who fired it, but what I will tell you is that based on the evidence that I've seen and that the Tory's attorneys will be presenting to the American people, I think that there are a lot of things in question. And I would say that, look, Pierce, you know that I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I grew up in a very rough area. I was at a high school where there was a gang shooting. When someone gets shot, there's evidence of that. My husband was shot in Afghanistan in 2014, and the evidence isn't lining up.
So you do not think she was actually shot?
I'm not a criminal investigator in that sense. So I'm just going to go on record for saying that the evidence as of right now is showing that there are no bullet fragments that have been presented, which I'll let people assume what they will not.
Okay, so final question for you, Sonstar.
Can I speak?
Sonstar, I was going to come to you.
Can I just speak really quickly to that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting going back that there was a time when all of this nothing was really being said about it amongst the party that was there on that particular night. Then an article appeared in the Los Angeles Times, okay? It wasn't us that put it out. The Los Angeles Times spoke to the fact that a doctor, I believe it's a Lafredo, who was the emergency physician on duty that night when she was brought to the hospital. He said, and the Los Angeles Times carried it, that she sustained lacerations that were consistent with being cut by glass. Okay? So somebody now went online and commented or said something about that fact that the Los Angeles Times carried this. This is when, from the other side now, she came out accusing my son, you shot me, you shot me, you shot me. Later on down, we have so-called expert testimony coming from a whole other doctor was not present that night about removing bullet fragments. And again, nobody knows where these bullet fragments are to this very day. There's just been a lot of lies, a lot of cover-up. And I believe this whole case has been about truth versus the politics of power. But the one thing about truth is light. You're never going to suppress it. You might keep it down for a while, but it's going to come out and it's going to shine like the sunlight.
Do you have a final
Pierce,
message?
If I could just,
yes.
Yeah, if I could just follow up and say this, also to the reason why Mr. Lanez couldn't speak publicly to this is there's a gag order that was placed on him by the team bringing charges. And when you don't have the ability to speak, that's that sends a pretty powerful message. And so part of my job is representing not just my constituents, but also ensuring that this doesn't happen in the future. And that's not right. So I'll speak the truth for him, and I'm going off facts. I'm presenting the evidence, and the people will decide. And I hope that Gavin Newsom does the right thing.
Okay, and just final question for you, Sonstar. Do you have a final message for Megan Thee Stallion? If she's watching this, she, of course, could actively get involved here in exonerating your son if she wished to, if that was the case, and she believed that she had misled people. What's your message to her?
I'm a believer in Christ, and my message is always the same to any human being, and that's love, that's compassion. I don't have an appeal to her or her team because I think that would be an exercise in futility. However, I do want to say on behalf of my son what the representative just said. This passion in his heart for criminal justice reform, prison reform, that didn't start because he got stabbed the other day 14 times. That has been something we have been discussing for a long time. This journey took me, many people are just getting to know who I am, but I've been in ministry for over 42, 43 years. I have ministered on various continents. Before I came back to North America at the top of 2018, I spent 7.5 years in Kenya. And that made me to become a father, not to just my children, but to many children. We call them spiritual children around the world. And when I saw him walking through this, we've met many inmates as a result of this. And you have people in this country right now that are imprisoned because of some dark age, medieval times attitude that says once a person is incarcerated, they become like a leper. They become like the offscouring of society. Nobody cares about them. In the medieval times, they would parade these people down the street in a cart, and they would throw rotten cabbages, tomatoes, and anybody that was locked away in the Tower of London or the Bastille in France or wherever, they were the offscouring of society. We still maintain that attitude up to this day, whether we realize.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. A lot of people agree with the same thing. Meg Thee Stallion, like I seen a meme, like she fell off the bike. They put her face on there and they said, "Tory Lanez, it's your fault. Why don't you leave me alone?" Like, hey, Tory Lanez just got stabbed up. Tory Lanez is on like 10 HP right now. He needs a chug jug, gang. He needs a health kit. Like, Tory Lanez is down bad right now, gang. You keep talking about Tory's not doing anything. Like, they said he got collapsed lungs and all this extra stuff. He's fighting for his life right now. Feel me? A lot of people love Tory Lanez. People don't really like you. This whole Rock Nation fiasco, you're a part of it. And you don't understand. Like, the dope cheese, the scissors, the Meg Thee Stallions, like, not really liked by a lot of people, gang. I'm not gonna lie. But hey, man, free Tory if he didn't do it. The evidence is all over the place. We don't know who did it. It's your boy Big Egg News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.